Hello, welcome back to the Crafty Organizer. I'm Noreen Eppley, and today I'm very excited to share how I took this bathroom and did this makeover for under $100. Let's go. So here is the listing photo from when we were shopping for a house. But this is the reality of our bathroom, and I don't know why it is so extremely different, but it really is. I think lighting plays a big part of it. I really disliked the brown tiles and the brown grout. I'm a lighter, brighter person. I'm thankful it has natural lighting in here, but overall it was dirty. There was a lot of water damage and mold in here. There was a problem with the ceiling. It was separating from the seam tape that connected the ceiling drywall to the regular upright drywall, but also I did not understand why they had cord-around molding in the shower. It wasn't sealed in anywhere, so the dampness was always just lingering behind it. And I didn't take pictures of this because this is not something that should be on a camera. But overall, the brown, the green of the vanities, and the gray countertop, it just seemed like none of it was cohesive to me. When we moved in, we had an electrical outlet, so they cut into it. I needed to fix this, but this right here was the biggest issue. The shower doors were never sealed at the bottom, so every time someone showered in here before we moved in, which is why they had the shower curtain up and we just didn't notice that there was so much damage, was seeping out, damaging the trim that's on the wall and the drywall. So I had to cut out all of that and repair it. Now, my brilliant idea was just to get some of the Rust-Oleum tub and tile, but at $20, the minimum I was going to need is 5 cans, meaning that was going to take up my whole budget just on that. So I decided to opt for the Rust-Oleum 2-time coverage and then seal it with polyacrylic, and this would keep me under budget. The first thing we did was take out the shower door insert. This is a 2-person job, so don't try and do this yourself, but it was very easy to actually remove. It's just a couple of screws once you take the doors off. Now, this is the only example I'm going to show you of the grimy mold that I had to deal with, so forgive this image. But if you think that is bad, imagine what was behind the hidden drywall and the cord-around that was up around the shower. The next thing we did was address the light. So it had a yellow bulb in there. By taking that out and putting in a bright white bulb, you can see that is a huge difference just on its own. We just put an LED 100-watt white bulb in there, and this made a night and day difference all by itself. After changing the bulb, I started taking out the silicone sealant that was around the sides of the shower. This was the hardest part. I was using a razor blade and it wasn't quite taking it all off. I used a heat gun and just kept going over it with a razor blade. This took forever, and I'm showing you how laborious it was so that you don't make the same mistake I did, because it never took it all off. What worked? I looked it up online, and yes, you can buy solvents, but WD-40 will release it from the tiles. So if you're trying to work on a project where they had used a silicone sealant before, especially if it's a clear one, try WD-40. I just sprayed it on there. I walked away for a few minutes, and when I came back the next time with the razor blade, it just lifted right off. There were only a couple of small areas that I had to fight, but it was so much easier than what I was trying to do, just scraping it and using the heat gun. Next, I removed the cord-around at the top, and I'm not going to zoom in and show you how that worked, but ultimately I was able to get this clean. I used a scrub brush and comb it. If you've ever laughed at one of these, my stepmom got me this as a gift, and let me tell you, instead of all of this motion with your shoulder, it does the scrubbing for you. You just have to direct it on where you want. This is one of my favorite tools now. So if you've ever mocked one of these like I did, let me tell you, it's a lifesaver. Once I had all the residue off, I took one more step of using a sander. In retrospect, I could have just sanded it and it would have taken all of the layers of grime off, but I wasn't thinking about time saving. I've watched other videos and they've showed cleaning it, then sanding it, and then wiping it down again. If you've got a good grit of sandpaper and you're roughing up the tiles, I honestly think you could skip the scrubbing and just go straight to the sanding. But let me know if you argue with that. I did both, so who knows? Once I had sanded everything, I did go through and wipe it down with a clean rag to get all of the dust off of it. And I also made sure to move away hardware away so that I could sand underneath. I put a fan in to make sure it was super dry, because one of the things I read is if you apply any type of paint and there's any moisture, it will bubble up. And obviously, if there's a bubble on it, that's going to scrape off right away and you won't have a nice clean coverage. I was so excited to just dive right in. I wanted to focus on the grout more than anything on this first coat. So I was doing an outline and then filling in each tile. Now, this first coat is going to be super splotchy, and I expected that. I'm really just focusing on getting all of the grout done on the walls, because then I can go over and fill it in on the second or even third coat. So far, I'm okay with it. I'm pretty happy. I was really making sure that I didn't have any drips. So I don't even know why I wanted to check and see a scratch test. I know better, but I did want to see how durable it was at this point, and it was scratching off. So I know it's going to take a couple of coats, and I also know the sealant is what's going to make or break this project. Now, if I did notice any areas where it was running, I had a foam roller and I was just going over it to make sure those drips don't happen, because once there's a dry drip, you either have to sand it off or you're just going to have a drip forever. Now, I did notice there was still some residual silicone, and it will not ever take paint. So be aware of that. Do your best to get it all off. In this area, I wasn't so worried because I knew we were putting the same shower door over it, so it would be okay. This is the second coat. It's definitely looking better, and I did do the floor this time just because I wanted to start getting a base established. But a third coat is really going to make the difference. So since the shower was pretty well working, I decided to go ahead and start working on the next part of this bathroom, which was taking out the toilet. It wobbled. We weren't sure if we needed to get a new toilet or just put in a new ring. It turns out there was actual trash under it. A couple of crayons, some wadded up cardboard. I don't know why. I don't know if because it wobbled, they were trying to shove things underneath to level it out. But we gave it a very good, thorough cleaning. We put in a new wax ring, and this toilet was good as new. Not a fun job, though. So once we got the toilet out of there, I'm really able to address scrubbing the floor and prepping it so that I can also paint it. I'm amazed at how big of a footprint is in here, but the walls are definitely rough, and I have to decide how I want to approach that. So I did the same steps with the floor that I did the shower. I did a good sweeping, I did a sanding, and did a wipe down to make sure that it was as dust-free as possible, because even a single hair will show up. With this, I did a different approach. On the shower, I used spray paint. In here, I had watched Mary from the White Cottage, and she just used a flat chalk paint on her floors, and then she stenciled it and sealed it with a polyacrylic. So I'm trying two different techniques. The floor is getting a chalk paint, and right now I'm already loving it because the coverage is so much more saturated. I'm using the tip of the roller to get the grout, and then I'm just using the roller to fill in. Eventually I start outlining all of the grout first and then filling it in, and that was a much more efficient technique. And honestly, after one coat, this floor already looked so much better. So I think in the future, I'm just going to go straight with the chalk paint and not even deal with the spray paint. But I'm learning here and sharing everything that I'm discovering with you. Day 2, I went in and I decided to patch and paint the ceiling because we realized after we started, as I'm putting white in, that the ceiling was actually a very light gray, which was adding to the overall darkness of this. I also decided to repair everything else on the walls. This project ended up being if you give a mouse a cookie story. I know I share this often, but if you paint the shower stalls, you're going to want to paint the floor. If you paint the floor, you're going to want to paint the ceiling. If you paint the ceiling, you're going to want to paint the walls. This ended up becoming an entire makeover, which honestly, when I first started, my intention was only to do the shower tiles and the floor, but I love my whole new bathroom now. This area that they had hidden underneath those quarter rounds was a different mixture of grout, so it was very absorbent. So after I treated it with bleach, I didn't want to deal with this again. I used the basic caulk that you get from the Dollar Tree. They sell the same thing at Walmart. I've used it before and I have no problems with it, so why waste the money? So I completely sealed in and bridged the area from the wall to the tile, and this automatically looked so much better, but it'll also prevent water from damaging things anymore. Then I got to rolling the ceilings, and this felt so much better. Please be safer than I am. I'm very stubborn when it comes to doing these things, so please be safe when you're doing it. Don't do what I do. I then applied a second coating of the chalk paint to the floors, and honest to goodness, this is amazing. So this was Mary at the White Cottage who advised this on one of her videos, and truly it's the best method. Day 3, I went ahead and applied the white chalk paint to the shower, and that unified everything. I was able to put the toilet back in. I painted the walls in a bluish gray color, and I love it. I did not repair the wall yet because I do not know how to do drywall, so this repair is going to have to wait for a little while, but it immediately gave a big change in the overall look, but it also made that green vanity stick out even more. So again, if you give a mouse a cookie, I was not expecting to paint this white, but once I got started, I just couldn't ignore, and I thought it looked so much better white. Now it was time to do the polyacrylic, and this is the magic that makes this project work. For the entire project, I did apply 2 coats of the polyacrylic. I did the first coat and I shut the door and left that room for a full 24 hours. So this project does take several days simply because of the drying and curing time, but that's the make or break of this working. I've seen a lot of the YouTubers who have painted their floors in various types of paint, but the polyacrylic is what makes this work. So please follow the instructions on the can. Be patient, let it work its magic. Apply the second coat after the first one has completely cured, but that's what allows this paint to work and seal things so well for a quick DIY cover. Once my floors had completely cured, I could put the shower back in. I just spray painted the middle with black spray paint, and then I got to working on the shower doors. Now, while they were out, I tried CLR, I tried lime away, I tried vinegar. I finally gave up and just took a razor blade and scraped off all the buildup. And I don't know if you can see the difference here, but that was the only thing that worked, and that really transformed the shower doors. So as a reminder, this is what the bathroom looked like when we first saw the listing, and here it is as a makeover. I am so stinking happy with this bathroom, even though that little piece of trim isn't done at the bottom. The shower looks amazing. I repainted the little armoire that was in there that gives us storage, added some decor pieces of a mirror and some frames, but this bathroom makes me so happy every time I walk in. And the total cost, $30 for the Rust-Oleum, $22 for the Minwax. I ended up spending $19 to get the chalk paint, and we did get a new shower head. Something I did not mention was that I just used Rust-Oleum matte black spray paint on every bit of hardware that I could. The shower doors, I ended up doing the shower bars, which I learned it's hard to spray paint those because we couldn't get them off. So I sprayed it into a glass cup and then used a brush and just brushed them all on, and it worked great. The only thing we could not spray paint because water's coming out of it and it's usually a plastic item that you handle a lot was the shower head. So I spent $14 on that for a total of $85 to take this from a space that I hated to a place that I absolutely love. Now, I know I've said this to you guys before. It's intimidating to start a project like this. Let YouTube be your friend. I honestly think YouTube is one of the greatest resources out there. I watched so many videos and watched so many people prep for it. I learned from their mistakes. The only mistake I made was I should have just gone for the simplest thing of rolling it. But I was honestly being lazy and thought, oh, I don't want to sit there and be on my hands and knees and roll everything. Spray paint's easier. It wasn't. So save that money, roll it. It adheres so beautifully, and you're going to see such a big payoff with even one coat. But do the 2 coats and take the time to do the 2 sealants, and you'll be amazed. And check out Mary's video on her redoing her floors. I think she did hers on linoleum. She did a video showing it a few years later, and it's still holding up insanely well. So try this out. The worst that happens if you don't like it, you can sand off the paint that you did, which I know sounds laborious, but when you consider the cost of redoing spaces, paint is such an affordable and easy, creative way for you to do any color that you want and get a huge payoff. So I really hope you found value in this video. Next week, I'm going to share a freebie flip. I've been having a lot of fun doing Facebook Marketplace freebies. That's a mouthful. I'm going to call it Free Friday freebies or something like that. But I've been taking these freebie items and flipping them. And the first one that I got to do was so much fun. But here's a few of the things I have found. Let me know which of these you're interested in seeing me make over, and see if you can guess what the first one that I've made over is. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.